2 o'clock on a Monday afternoon, Renata Silva climbs the stairs of the mansion, carrying her cleaning supplies and hearing a heartbreaking sound, the desperate cries of two babies echoing throughout the house. At 25, Renata has been working as a housekeeper here for 3 weeks, but she has never gotten used to that kind of suffering. The twins have been crying for 3 hours straight today. Yesterday it was 5, the day before 6. "My God, those poor children," she whispers, stopping on the stairs to wipe the sweat from her forehead. Rafael Ferraz appears in the hallway like a lost man. At 34, this millionaire businessman seems to have aged 10 years in just a few weeks. His dark circles are deep, his hair a mess, and he walks around like a ghost. "Swaley," he calls out to the housekeeper, who comes running. It's been over 2 months they haven't been able to sleep properly. Over 2 months. Swaley, a 50-year-old woman who has worked for the family for 20 years, shakes her head with pity. She always writes everything down in an old notebook. "Sir, you need to rest too. You can't go on like this." "Rest?" Rafael lets out a bitter laugh. "How can I rest with my daughters crying like this? What kind of father am I, Swaley?" Renata pauses on the stairs. The pain in his voice cuts deep. She lost a baby a year ago at 4 months of pregnancy. She knows well what it means to see a child suffering. Rafael grabs his phone with trembling hands. "Doctor, it's Rafael Ferraz again. I know I called this morning, but my daughters are unbearable. There has to be something you can do." The voice on the other end says something that makes him even more desperate. "What do you mean you don't know what else to do? We've had a pediatrician, a neurologist, a baby specialist. I've spent more money than I have and nothing works." He hangs up and slams his fist against the wall. "Rafael." Swaley rushes to him. "You can't hurt yourself too. It's useless, Swaley. I'm useless as a father. I can't even make my own daughters stop crying." Renata watches with a heavy heart. She has never seen a man so broken. His pain is raw, real, soul-crushing. From the bedroom, the twins' crying grows even louder. Helena and Sophia, 3 months old, struggling with something no one can understand. "If they don't get better soon, I can't take this anymore," Rafael whispers, his voice breaking. At 3 o'clock, Rafael runs out of the house, pushing the babies in their strollers. "I'm going back to the hospital," he shouts to Swaley. "They have a fever from crying so much." The mansion's gate closes and finally the house falls silent. Renata lets out a sigh of relief, not because of her work but because those little girls finally have a moment of peace. "Poor things," she murmurs, finishing her climb to clean the upper floor. When she reaches the twins' bedroom door, she stops. The air still smells of babies mixed with medicine. 2 tiny cribs, pink and blue decorations, little toys that are never played with, because the girls never stop crying long enough. Renata knows she shouldn't go in. Rafael is strict about who enters his daughter's room. But something pulls her inside. She picks up a tiny pink outfit with little bunnies on it, hugs it to her chest and closes her eyes. The memory of the baby she lost stabs her heart. "My little angel," she whispers. "If you had been born, you'd be their age now." An hour and a half later, the sound of the gate wakes her from her reverie. Rafael is back. Renata rushes to leave the room, but she bumps her foot against the dresser and knocks over a bottle of perfume. "Oh God!" she gasps, kneeling to pick up the pieces just as she hears footsteps on the stairs. "The doctors don't know what else to do," Rafael yells to Swaley. "They say the girls are healthy, but they won't stop crying." He enters the room, holding Helena in his arms. The baby is red from crying, her little face swollen, her tiny fists clenched. "Daddy doesn't know what to do anymore, my little girl," he whispers, rocking the baby gently. "Daddy is lost." Sophia, still in the stroller, keeps crying too, a sharp sound that pierces the ears. And then something unexplainable happens. Renata, still crouched on the floor picking up the glass shards, looks at Helena and without thinking, stretches out her arms. "Can I hold her for a moment?" Rafael, at the edge of exhaustion, doesn't think twice. He places the baby in Renata's arms. Silence is immediate. Helena stops crying as if someone had pressed a switch. Her swollen little eyes open and fix on Renata's face with a curious, calm gaze that leaves Rafael speechless. Sophia, in the stroller, also stops crying. She turns her tiny head toward her sister and toward Renata, as if sensing that something had changed. "Calm down, little one," Renata whispers, rocking Helena slowly. "What was bothering you so much?" The baby closes her eyes and for the first time in over 2 months, truly falls asleep. "I don't believe it." Rafael picks Sophia up from the stroller. The baby also calms instantly as he brings her closer to Renata. "How did you do that?" I don't know, Mr. Raphael. I just felt like I needed to hold her. Swaley appears at the doorway and almost faints. Oh my God. How did you manage that? These girls don't stop crying, not even in their sleep. But Raphael has already seen it with his own eyes. He is witnessing the impossible happening right in front of him. Renata, he whispers, I've been searching for an answer for 3 months. I've spent a fortune on doctors. And you simply, they're asleep, Renata finishes, her eyes brimming with tears. Truly asleep. The three of them stay there in silence, watching the twins sleep peacefully for the first time. Helena rests in Renata's arms, Sophia in her father's lap but leaning toward the maid. That's when they hear decisive footsteps on the stairs, footsteps that make everyone's blood run cold. Raphael. A woman's voice echoes down the hallway. I'm here for the girl's appointment. Dr. Kasia Drummond appears at the door like someone who always commands the room. At 38, she has the kind of presence that demands respect the moment she enters. Her white coat is spotless, her hair tied in a perfect bun, her posture rigid, the stance of someone who never loses control. Raphael, how are the GI? She stops mid-sentence when she sees the scene. The twins asleep, Raphael smiling for the first time in months, and the maid holding Helena as if it were the most natural thing in the world. Kasia. Raphael whispers, careful not to wake the babies. You won't believe this. They finally slept. Renata managed to put them to sleep. The smile freezes on Kasia's face. For 3 years she has taken care of this family, 3 years building trust, waiting for the right moment to get closer to Raphael in a more personal way. And now, a simple maid does what she, a trained doctor, couldn't? Raphael, she says in a controlled tone, can I speak with you for a minute out in the hallway? But Kasia, look, they're so calm right now. In the hallway, please. Raphael notices the serious tone and gestures for Renata to stay with the babies. He steps outside to follow the doctor. Raphael, do you realize what just happened? Kasia speaks quietly but with restrained anger. What? She put my daughters to sleep, Kasia. For the first time in 3 months. And do you know this woman's background? Do you know if she has any illness? Do you know if she did something dangerous? Raphael frowns. He hadn't thought about that. Kasia, she just held Helena and, Raphael, I've been a pediatrician for 15 years. I know how risky these situations can be. 3-month-old babies are extremely fragile. Any wrong step can cause serious harm. But they're fine, Kasia. Look at them sleeping so peacefully. For now. But what if it's some chemical reaction? What if she had something on her skin? What if it ends up hurting them later? Her words plant a seed of doubt in Raphael's exhausted mind. He has always trusted her. Kasia saved the twins when they were born prematurely. She's a respected professional, a family friend for years. Inside the room, Renata cradles Helena, who sleeps deeply. Swaley watches Sophia resting peacefully in her stroller. Miss, Swaley whispers, how did you do it? I don't know, Donna Swaley. I just felt I had to help. In 20 years working here, I've never seen anything like it. These girls don't stop crying, not even in their sleep. And now look. She points to the babies, truly asleep, their breathing calm, faces relaxed, little hands unclenched. It's a miracle, Swaley concludes. Out in the hallway, Kasia keeps sowing doubt. Raphael, I understand your desperation. But as a doctor, I can't allow someone untrained to have direct contact with babies this small. It's a matter of responsibility. Imagine if something happens to them. Imagine if they develop an allergy or infection. You would never forgive yourself. And I, as the responsible physician, neither could I. Raphael runs a hand through his hair. Exhaustion clouds his judgment. What do you think I should do? She shouldn't have any more direct contact with the girls. For their own good. In the meantime, I'll adjust their medication. Maybe that's what was missing. Inside the bedroom, Renata feels a chill run down her spine. Something doesn't feel right. Helena stirs slightly in her arms but keeps sleeping. Donna Swaley, she whispers, the doctor always gives. Medicine for the girls? Every day, miss. She says it's to calm them, but it has never really worked. And today? Has she given it yet? Not yet, she just arrived. Renata starts thinking. The twins fell asleep without any medicine, only with affection, only with her touch. That's when Raphael comes back into the room, his face tense. Renata, he says quietly, thank you for your help, but Dr. Kasia is right. It's better if you don't handle the girls anymore. Renata's heart shatters. But Mr. Raphael, they're fine. I know, but it could be dangerous. You're not a doctor. Maybe it was luck, or maybe it's something that could harm them later. Renata gently lays Helena down in her crib. The baby keeps sleeping. I understand, Mr. Raphael. But her eyes say everything. She doesn't understand at all. She knows she helped those children, and now she's being pushed away for it. Kasia enters the room with a smile that doesn't reach her eyes. I'll administer the girl's medication now, she announces, pulling 2 syringes from her medical bag. But they're sleeping, doctor, Wrongfully comments. Exactly, that's the best moment to give them the medicine. They'll sleep even deeper. Renata watches everything, unease growing in her chest. Something about those syringes doesn't feel right. Excuse me, she murmurs and leaves the room. In the hallway, she hears Kasia speaking quietly to herself. That one almost ruined everything. Tuesday, 6 in the morning. Renata arrives for work with a heavy heart. All weekend she couldn't stop thinking about the twins. Did they sleep? Were they okay? When she enters the mansion, she hears exactly what she expected and feared. Crying. Helena and Sophia cry in their room, louder and more desperately than before. It's as if they've gone back to how things were before, only worse. They barely slept all weekend, Wrongfully says when she sees Renata. The master is destroyed again. And the doctor's medicine? She increased the dose. Said it was necessary to compensate for what happened on Friday. Renata frowns. Compensate? Why would the twins' natural sleep need to be compensated? At exactly 7 o'clock, Dr. Kasia arrives. Today she seems different, more determined, more severe. Where's the maid? She asks Wrongfully. She's cleaning the living room, doctor. Call her here. I need to talk. Renata climbs the stairs with her heart racing. Kasia is waiting in the hallway, arms crossed, face hard. Renata, right? Yes, doctor. I need to make one thing very clear. You absolutely cannot touch the children in this house. They are fragile babies born premature. Any wrong contact could cause a serious infection. But doctor, I only helped. You didn't help at all. You created a problem. The girls were restless all weekend because their bodies were altered. Altered how? Cheap perfume? Cleaning products? Bacteria? You clean houses, don't you? Your hands carry germs that can be dangerous for babies. Each word from Kasia feels like a slap in Renata's face. The doctor speaks with an authority that leaves no room for questioning. Do you understand? Don't touch the children. Don't enter their room. If I find out you disobeyed, I'll tell Mr. Raphael to fire you on the spot. Yes, doctor. Good. Now I'll take care of my patients. Kasia enters the twins' room and closes the door. Renata stays in the hallway, humiliated and confused. Had she really done something wrong? Could she have hurt the babies without realizing it? Inside the room, Kasia pulls a syringe from her bag. But it's not the same one Raphael saw in her kit. This one is different, filled with a transparent liquid that has nothing of a sedative. Now we'll fix this little problem, she whispers, mixing the content into Helena's bottle. The liquid is a mild stimulant, tasteless, but it keeps babies agitated for hours. Kasia has been using small doses for 3 months, since the twins were born. Her plan was simple: keep the children dependent on her medicine, make herself indispensable to Raphael, then at the right time discover the cure, and marry him out of gratitude. But on Friday, a simple maid almost destroyed 3 years of planning. Today, Kasia doubles the dose. The twins will go through a terrible week, and when she adjusts the medication again, Raphael will fall at her feet with gratitude. There, my little ones, she whispers to the babies. Daddy will see that only Aunt Kasia can take care of you. Helena and Sophia drink their poison bottles without knowing. In 1 hour, the effect will begin. In 2, they'll be screaming like never before. In the hallway, Renata scrubs the floor, listening to the whimpers already growing stronger. Her heart aches, but she can't do anything, she's forbidden. At 10 o'clock, Raphael arrives from the office and finds his daughters in a worse crisis than ever. Kasia, he shouts into the phone. They're unbearable. What medicine did you give them? Calm down, Raphael. It's normal. Their system was altered because of Friday's contact. Now I'm correcting it. It will get worse before it gets better. Worse? Unfortunately, yes. But trust me, I've been a doctor for 15 years. I know what I'm doing. Raphael hangs up and collapses in the bedroom armchair. The twins have been crying for 4 straight hours. It's Tuesday, and they haven't slept properly since Sunday. They'll die if this continues, he whispers to himself, his voice breaking with despair. In the hallway, Renata hears everything and feels tears roll down her face. She knows she could help. She knows the twins would calm in her arms. But she's forbidden to touch them. Then she notices something that makes her even more uneasy. In the bathroom trash, she sees an empty bottle of infant sedative, the same medicine the doctor said she had given the girls. As she gave it, Renata thinks, why is the bottle empty in the trash? And why are the babies worse? A seed of suspicion begins to grow in Renata's heart. Something isn't right. What if the person who is supposed to care for the twins is actually harming them? The baby's cries echo through the mansion like a scream for help. A scream only Renata seems to understand, but that she is forbidden to answer. They'll die if this continues, Raphael yells into the phone to Kasia. And for the first time, Renata wonders, what if that's exactly the intention? Wednesday noon. Renata works downstairs, listening to the twins' cries that haven't stopped for 8 hours. The sound tears at her soul, especially because she knows she could help. Swaley appears in the kitchen with her notebook in hand and a worried expression. Miss, can I talk to you? Of course, Donna Swaley. I find this whole situation very strange. The girls only improved when you cared for them on Friday. Then over the weekend they got worse than ever. Renata stops cleaning and looks at the housekeeper. You thought it was strange too? Very much. And there's something else. Swaley glances around to make sure no one is listening. I've worked here for 20 years. I've never seen babies cry this much. So it's not normal? Not at all. And another thing caught my attention. The doctor comes here every day now, but before the girls were born, she only came when the master called. Renata feels her heart race. She's not crazy. Something really is wrong. Donna Swaley, you write everything down in that notebook, right? Yes, it's an old habit of mine. I note who comes, who leaves, the times. Can you tell me what time the doctor arrives and what time the girls start crying worse? Swaley opens the notebook and flips through the pages. Look here. Monday, the doctor arrived at 7:01, gave medicine at 7:30. The girls started screaming like crazy at 8:30. And yesterday, Tuesday, the doctor arrived at 7:01, gave medicine at 7:15. The girls started screaming at 8:15. Always 1 hour after the medicine? Always. But that must be normal, right? Sometimes medicine. It takes a while to take effect. Renata furrows her brow. If the medicine is supposed to calm them, why do the twins get worse afterward? Donna Swaley, did you see what medicine the doctor throws away? What do you mean? I saw some bottles of children's sedatives in the bathroom trash. If she's giving sedatives to the babies, why are the bottles empty in the garbage? Swaley thinks for a moment. Now that you mention it, it is strange. Why throw away unused medicine? That's when they hear fast steps on the stairs. Raphael comes running down, his hair messy, shirt wrinkled. Swaley, where's Kasia? I called her, but she's not answering. She hasn't come today, boss. The girls have been screaming for 8 hours. 8 hours, Swaley. They're going to have seizures if this keeps up. Renata feels her chest tighten, watching his desperation. Mr. Raphael, she says softly, may I suggest something? What? What if you didn't give them the medicine today just to see if it makes a difference? Raphael looks at her as if she had suggested madness. Renata, they're like this because they need the medicine. Kasia explained that their systems are, what was the word? Altered. But what if that's not it? What if it's the medicine that's harming them? Renata. Raphael raises his voice. Kasia is a trained doctor. She knows what she's doing. Renata lowers her head, but the suspicion only grows in her mind. The phone rings and Raphael runs to answer. Kasia. Thank God. You need to come right away. The girls are unbearable. Calm down, Raphael. I'll be there in half an hour. In the meantime, give them another dose of the medicine. It's in the fridge. Raphael goes to the kitchen and opens the fridge. He grabs a bottle with a clear liquid. Swaley, come help me give the babies the medicine. Renata watches and makes a decision. She has to find out what's really happening. At 2 in the afternoon, she positions herself at the living room window, pretending to clean. From there, she can see the twins' bedroom upstairs. 15 minutes later, Kasia arrives. Renata notices she doesn't look worried, more like relieved. From the window, Renata sees Kasia enter the baby's room. What she sees chills her. Kasia doesn't examine the babies, doesn't check temperature, doesn't listen to their hearts. She simply takes something from her medical bag and puts it in the bottles. Donna Swaley. Renata whispers. Come look. Swaley comes close. What is it? Look upstairs. The doctor isn't examining them, just tampering with the bottles. Swaley frowns. Strange. A doctor should examine before giving medicine. At that moment, they see Kasia leaving the room and talking with Raphael in the hall. They can't hear, but his expression shows she's reassuring him. Donna Swaley, when the doctor leaves, can you show me what medicine she left? Sure. An hour later, Kasia leaves. Swaley and Renata go upstairs. Look here. Swaley shows the bottle in the bedroom fridge. This is what she always leaves. Renata reads the label. Children's sedative, natural. But look at this, she says, pointing to the back. The cap has been tampered with. Someone opened and closed it again. How do you know? I've cleaned houses for years. I've learned to notice these things. Someone messed with this bottle. Swaley looks closer. You're right, the cap is crooked. Then they hear a different cry from the cribs. Helena and Sophia are agitated again. 1 hour after the medicine, Renata whispers, just like you noted. My God, Swaley mutters. Could it be? Donna, Swaley, can you do something for me? What? Tomorrow, when the doctor comes, pretend you forgot something in the room and watch her tamper with the medicine without her noticing. And if she finds out, then we'll know something is truly wrong. Thursday, 6:30 a.m. Renata arrives, anxious to know how the night went. Swaley greets her at the door with relief. Girl, thank goodness you're here. How was the night? The boss didn't give them the medicine last night. And guess what? What? The girls slept 6 hours straight. 6 hours. First time in months. Renata feels a mix of relief and confirmation. And this morning they're still asleep. But the doctor came half an hour ago. She's upstairs. Did you manage to observe her? I did, and you won't believe it. Swaley pulls Renata aside and whispers. She took a syringe from her bag and injected something into the medicine bottle. Something she brought from outside. Are you sure? Absolutely. I saw her pierce the cap with the syringe and inject a clear liquid. My God. And more, afterward she tested a drop on her tongue. Tested it? To see if it had taste. I saw her look satisfied, as if checking it couldn't be detected. Renata feels her blood freeze. A doctor wouldn't need to test medicine on herself unless she was mixing something she shouldn't. Donna, Swaley, we need to talk to Mr. Raphael. He won't believe us. Then we need more proof. They hear footsteps on the stairs. Kasia appears in the kitchen with a smile that doesn't reach her eyes. Good morning. The girls are great today, sleeping like angels. That's good, doctor, Swaley replies, trying to hide her unease. I'll leave the usual medicine. Give it every 4 hours. Kasia leaves. But this time, Renata notices something new. She's carrying 2 bags, the medical one and a small cooler bag. Did you see that cooler bag? Yes. Do doctors usually bring those? Not that I know. Regular medicine doesn't need refrigeration. Raphael enters, looking much better than in recent days. Swaley, I can't believe the girls slept all night. Yes, boss. Great, right? Kasia said it's because the new medicine is working. Renata and Swaley exchange glances. They know it wasn't the medicine, it was the lack of it. Mr. Raphael, don't you think it's strange they only improved when they didn't take the night dose? But they did. Kasia adjusted the formula. But you said you didn't give it last night. Raphael pauses, thinking. True, I didn't. I completely forgot. I was exhausted. And they improved. Coincidence. Mr. Raphael, Swaley interrupts. May I say something? Of course. In 20 years working here, I've learned to observe. And some things are bothering me. Like what? The doctor always tampers with the medicine before leaving it here, and the girls always get worse exactly an hour after taking it. Raphael frowns. Swaley, are you suggesting that? I'm not suggesting anything, boss. I'm just telling you what I see. At that moment, the twins' cries return upstairs. Helena and Sophia are waking and growing restless. There you go, Raphael sighs. I'll give them the medicine. Mr. Raphael, Renata quickly says, what if we try one more time without it, just to be sure? Please, just today. If they get really bad, you can give it right away. Raphael hesitates. On one hand, the doctor's orders. On the other, the evidence before his eyes. Fine. But if they get very bad, I'll give it. Renata feels hope rising. Maybe today they'll discover the truth. At 10 a.m., something extraordinary happens. The twins, who woke up crying, gradually calm themselves. No medicine, no intervention, just their father's affection and normal care. I can't believe it, Raphael whispers, watching them peaceful. Do you believe now that something's wrong with that medicine? Renata asks. Raphael is about to answer when the phone rings. Raphael? It's Kasia. How are the girls? They're fine. Great. Did you give them the medicine on time? Raphael looks at Renata and Swaley, who shake their heads. Yes, I did. Perfect. I'll be there this afternoon to see how they're responding to the new treatment. When he hangs up, Renata realizes he lied. Why did you lie? Because I want to be sure before accusing a doctor of what you're thinking. And how will we be sure? Raphael stays quiet. We'll test the medicine. Thursday, 2 p.m. Raphael, Renata, and Swaley stand in the kitchen, staring at the bottle Kasia left. How will we test this? Raphael asks. My brother's a pharmacy technician, Swaley says. He can analyze it discreetly. But will that take too long? There's another way, Renata interrupts. We can watch how the girls react with and without the medicine throughout the day. What do you mean? Simple. We split the day in two. In the morning, no medicine. In the afternoon, when the doctor arrives, we give the medicine and watch for changes. Raphael considers the proposal. And if they get worse? Then we stop immediately and call another doctor. All right, let's try. Throughout the morning, the twins remain calm. They eat normally, sleep when they should, and behave like healthy babies. At 2:30, Kasia arrives for the afternoon visit. How are my little patients? Fine, Raphael answers, watching her closely. Great. The medicine is working perfectly then. Kasia goes upstairs to the twins' room. Raphael, Renata, and Swaley stay downstairs waiting. Half an hour later, Kasia comes down. Done, I gave them their afternoon dose. They'll be calm now. As soon as Kasia leaves the house, the three of them rush upstairs. The twins are in their crib, seemingly normal. But Raphael notices something. Look at their eyes. Helena and Sophia's eyes are wide open, glazed, as if they're seeing things that don't exist. Is that normal? Raphael asks. No, Renata replies. Babies don't look like that. 15 minutes later, right on time, the crying begins. But it's not normal baby crying. It's desperate crying, like they're suffering. Now I'm sure, Raphael says, his voice trembling with anger. She's poisoning my daughters. What are we going to do? Swaley asks. We're going to prove it. Raphael calls a private doctor he knows. Dr. Augusto, this is Raphael Ferraz. I need you to come to my house urgently to examine my daughters. No, it's not an emergency, but it's important. Can you come today? While Raphael is on the phone, Renata hears a strange noise in the garden. She looks out the window and sees Kasia hiding behind a tree watching the house. Mr. Swaley, she whispers. Look outside. Swaley looks and turns pale. She's spying on us. What? Because she knows we found out something. At that moment, Raphael hangs up. Dr. Augusto will be here at 4 o'clock. We'll know exactly what's in the girl's blood. But they don't know Kasia overheard everything through the open window. And she's already planning her next move. At 3:45, 15 minutes before Dr. Augusto arrives, the phone rings. Raphael, this is the neighborhood police station. We received a serious complaint about your house. What kind of complaint? Someone reported that one of your employees is giving controlled medication to your daughters without a prescription. Raphael freezes. That's a lie. Sir, we need to check. It's protocol. We're on our way. Raphael hangs up and looks at Renata and Swaley, desperate. Someone reported us. Oh. Renata asks, but deep down she already knows the answer. 20 minutes later, 2 police cars stop in front of the mansion. 4 officers go upstairs to the twins' room, where they find Raphael, Renata, and Swaley caring for the crying babies. Who is responsible for the children's medical care? The sergeant asks. No one, Raphael replies. They're treated by a doctor. We have information that this woman, he points to Renata, has been administering medication without authorization. That's a lie. That's when Kasia appears at the door with another officer. Sergeant, as I reported by phone, I found evidence that this employee has been drugging the children. She pulls a bottle of controlled medication from her bag. I found this hidden in her things. Renata is shocked. That's not mine. I've never seen that bottle before. And I also found this. Kasia shows a piece of paper. Her notes on dosages. Raphael grabs the paper. It's a falsified prescription with treatments for Helena and Sophia, signed by Dr. Renata Silva. Renata, Raphael whispers. How could you? Mr. Raphael, I swear I never wrote this. I don't even know how to write prescriptions. I'm not a doctor. Madam, the sergeant says you'll have to come with us for questioning. No, I'm innocent. She planted that evidence. But as Renata is taken away, Kasia approaches Raphael. I'm sorry, Raphael. I know you trusted her. But I couldn't let your daughters be at risk. Raphael looks at the twins, still crying, then at Kasia, who now seems to be the only one he can trust. He doesn't notice the discreet smile of satisfaction on her face. Friday, 8 a.m. Renata wakes up, in a cold jail cell after a night that felt endless. She spent hours trying to explain she was framed, but no one believes her. Silva, visitor. The officer shouts. She stands, hoping to see Raphael or maybe Dr. Augusto, who could prove her innocence. But it's her mother, Mrs. Marcia Santos, her face red with shame and anger. Mom. Renata whispers. Don't call me Mom. How could you do this? Poison small children? Mom, I didn't do anything. It was the doctor who framed me. Stop lying. It was on the news. Everyone knows you forged prescriptions. Renata feels her world collapse. If her own mother doesn't believe her, who will? Please listen to me just for a moment. I don't want to hear anything. You shamed our family. Your brothers can't even leave the house. For me, you're dead. I never want to see your face again. Her mother storms out. Renata collapses on the floor, sobbing like never before. In the afternoon, a public defender comes to see her. He looks tired, as if he's seen this case 1,000 times. Renata, I'll be direct. The situation is complicated. They have physical evidence against you. But I'm innocent. Look, forging prescriptions is a serious crime. 2 to 8 years in prison. Someone set me up. The doctor planted everything. Can you prove it? Renata stays silent. How can she prove anything from a cell? And the children? She asks. How are they? That's not my area. My job is to defend you. Supposedly? Well, technically you're innocent until proven guilty, but the evidence. He doesn't finish. Renata sees even he doesn't believe her. At night, an older inmate approaches. First time here? Hope it's the last. Everyone says that. What crime? They say I forged prescriptions to drug babies. The woman makes a disgusted face. Hurting children is serious in here. If you really did that? I didn't. I love those kids more than life. Then someone screwed you badly. Renata spends another sleepless night thinking of Helena and Sophia. Are they crying again? Did Kasia give them more stimulants? Did Raphael notice? Saturday morning, the news she feared most arrives. Those babies you poisoned were hospitalized overnight. Renata's heart stops. What? They're in the ICU. Seizures. High fever. Doctors think it was an overdose from the meds you gave them. Renata screams, runs to the bars. No, I never gave them anything. Let me out. I need to talk to someone. Stay quiet. You're not going anywhere. They'll die. You don't understand. The doctor is killing them. But no one listens. To everyone, she's just another criminal. Renata collapses, sobbing. Helena and Sophia are dying, and the one who could save them is locked away. At the hospital, Raphael paces like a madman. His daughters are hooked up to machines, fighting for life. How did this happen, Kasia? He asks for the 10th time. Raphael, I told you. The maid was drugging them for weeks. Their bodies accumulated the substance. Now they're reacting. But they were getting better. That was the drug's effect. Now that we stopped, they're in withdrawal. Raphael believes her because he has no other choice. She's a doctor. She knows. What he doesn't know is that right now, Kasia is giving the twins even higher doses. Her plan is simple. Make them so sick that he'll marry her out of desperation and gratitude when she finally cures them. In jail, Renata receives more devastating news. Silva, your case is national now. You're the most hated woman in Brazil. And it's true. The story of the maid who poisoned twin babies is everywhere. Her face is on TV, in the papers, on websites. Protesters gather outside, demanding justice. Baby killer. Someone shouts. Lock her up. Renata curls up in her cell. Her life is hell, while the real culprit is treated as a hero. Worst of all, while she rots in a cell, Helena and Sophia are dying in the arms of the one truly poisoning them. God. She whispers in the dark. If you exist, protect those children. They don't deserve this. And by some miracle, across the city, someone starts asking questions Kasia never expected. Sunday, 6 a.m. At São Jose Hospital, Raphael hasn't left his daughter's side in 36 hours. Helena and Sophia are in the ICU, with fevers that won't go down and waves of seizures. How are they, doctor? Raphael asks Dr. Martins. Stable but still concerning. We'll have toxicology results tomorrow morning. And until then, hydration and monitoring. Their bodies need to eliminate whatever it is naturally. Raphael rubs his face. 3 days without sleep, food, or peace. Kasia brings him coffee. Raphael, you need to rest. I can't. Look at them, Kasia. I know it's hard, but they'll be fine. Trust me. How can you be so sure? Because I know this kind of intoxication. I've seen it before. But she's lying. She never saw a case like this, because she created it. Swaley arrives. How are they, boss? Very bad, Swaley. And Renata? Haven't you visited her? Raphael looks uncomfortable. After what she did. Boss, Swaley whispers. Can I say something? As someone who's known your family a long time. Go ahead. I saw Renata with those girls. The way she cared for them. That girl would never hurt a child. But the evidence? Evidence can be faked, boss. But not the heart. And her heart with those girls was pure. Raphael thinks deeply. Swaley, you think I should talk to her? At least hear her side. Kasia, hearing this, interrupts. Raphael, don't you think you should focus on the girls now? That woman will only upset you. Maybe you're right, but Swaley insists. Boss, let me ask you something. Since Renata was arrested, have the girls improved or worsened? The question hits like a bomb. Raphael never thought of it that way. Worse. Isn't that strange? If she was poisoning them, shouldn't they be better now? Kassia's heart races. Swaley, she says firmly, intoxication doesn't work like that. The body needs time. It's normal for them to get worse before they get better. Oh, I see. But Swaley doesn't see. She's even more suspicious now. Boss, she whispers when Kassia walks away. Don't you think you should at least talk to Renata? Just to be sure? Raphael looks at his daughters hooked to machines. All right, but only to settle this once and for all. What they don't know is that this decision will begin to unravel 3 years of lies. Monday, 10 a.m. Raphael sits in the visitation room of the police station, nervous, angry, but also curious. When Renata appears, he is shocked by the change in her. In just 4 days, she seems to have aged years, thin, pale, with dark circles under her eyes that speak for themselves. Mr. Raphael, she says softly, Renata, how are the girls? Why do you care? After what they say you did. Because I love them more than anything in this world. Raphael studies her face. He sees no malice. He sees no lies. He sees real pain. Renata, explain something to me. If you truly love my daughters, why would you do that? Because I didn't do it, Mr. Raphael. I swear on my mother's soul that I would never hurt these children. But evidence was planted by Dr. Kassia. Renata, that is a very serious accusation. I know, but it's the truth. Renata tells everything. The patterns she and Swaley discovered, the tampered bottles, the way the twins always worsened after the medication. Mr. Raphael, your daughters only became agitated after she gave them the medication. You saw it yourself on Thursday. Raphael remembers. It's true. When I didn't give the medicine, the girls improved. But why would Kassia do something like that? I don't know. I only know she's doing it. Can you prove it? From inside a cell? How? Raphael leaves the police station with his head spinning. Renata's words make sense, but they are so serious that part of him doesn't want to believe them. Back at the hospital, he finds Dr. Martens coming out of the twins' room. Doctor, how are they? Interestingly, they're a little better today. Their fever has dropped by 1 degree. Really? Yes. If this continues, maybe we can remove some of the monitors tomorrow. Raphael thinks. The girls are improving at the hospital, away from any medication from Kassia. Doctor, may I ask a technical question? Of course. If someone were giving a substance to keep babies agitated, would they improve when they stopped receiving it? Dr. Martens frowns. It depends on the substance. But yes, if it were a stimulant, for example, they would gradually calm down once it was stopped. How long would that take? 2 or 3 days. Why? Just curious. But it isn't curiosity. Raphael is beginning to put the pieces together. At that moment, Kassia appears in the corridor. Raphael, how are my little patients today? Better. The doctor said the fever has dropped. Good, she replies, but her expression doesn't show relief. Kassia, may I ask you something? Of course. What kind of medication were you giving the girls at home? A natural sedative. Why? The doctor said they might be improving because they stopped receiving some substance. Shouldn't it be the opposite? Kassia becomes nervous. Every case is different, Raphael. You can't generalize. But you just said you knew this type of intoxication. I know, but each body reacts differently. Raphael notices her answers don't match. Kassia, did you bring any medication to administer today? Yes, but I'll consult with Dr. Martens first. What medication? A vitamin supplement to help with recovery. Raphael says nothing but decides to watch more closely. Tuesday, 8 a.m. Dr. Martens urgently calls Raphael. Mr. Ferraz, I need to talk to you. Did something happen? The toxicology results for your daughters arrived. Raphael feels his stomach tighten. They have amphetamines in their blood. Amphetamine is a very strong stimulant. In babies, it can cause exactly the symptoms your daughters presented. Doctor, where could it have come from? Regularly for about 2 months. Raphael's legs go weak. 2 months was when Kassia started treating them. Who is Kassia? The family's private doctor. Dr. Martens becomes serious. Mr. Ferraz, I need to inform you that we will report this to the authorities. This is child poisoning. At that moment, Kassia appears in the corridor. Raphael, how are my little patients today? Kassia, he says, controlling his voice, the doctor wants to speak with you. With me? About what? Dr. Martins introduces himself. Doctor, I'm Dr. Martins, responsible for the ICU. I need to clarify some points regarding the treatment you've been giving the children. Of course, what points? We found amphetamines in their blood. Kasia pales but tries to hide it. Amphetamines? Impossible. I only gave a natural sedative. Do you have the prescription for this sedative? Of course. She fumbles in her bag, taking longer than usual. How strange. I think I left it in the office. Doctor? Dr. Martins continues. The amount of amphetamine indicates regular administration for 2 months. Can you explain this? It must have been the maid, she was drugging the children. But the maid has been in jail for 5 days. And the amphetamine levels indicate recent administration. Kasia is speechless. Doctor, I will need you to accompany our investigation. Poisoning minors is a serious crime. The police will want to talk to you. Kasia realizes her world is collapsing but still doesn't confess. She tries to defend herself. This is a misunderstanding. I am a respected doctor for 15 years. Precisely why this is more serious, Dr. Martins replies. Raphael, who had been silently listening, finally speaks. Kasia, look me in the eyes and tell me the truth. Were you giving amphetamines to my daughters? Raphael, I never. Look me in the eyes. Kasia tries to maintain eye contact but fails. I can explain. Then explain. But instead of confessing, she tries to escape. I need to get some documents from my office. I'll be right back. You're not going anywhere, Dr. Martins says. Hospital security has already been notified. Kasia understands she has no way out. Tuesday, 2 p.m. in the hospital security room, Kasia sits between Raphael, Dr. Martins, and 2 police investigators. She still tries to deny everything. I never gave amphetamines to these children, she insists. Doctor, one investigator says. We have the toxicology report, your statements, and your constant presence in the house during the intoxication period. Coincidence. Do you have any explanation for the amphetamine in the baby's blood? Was the maid. The maid doesn't have access to medical amphetamines. You do. Kasia is silent. Raphael can't take it anymore. Kasia, for God's sake, stop lying. My daughters almost died. I didn't want them to die, she blurts, a first crack in her story. So you admit you gave them something? The investigator asks. Kasia realizes her mistake and tries to backtrack. No, I meant nobody wanted them to die. Wasn't that what you just said? Yes, it was. Raphael stands furious. Kasia, you're a doctor. You know lying in a criminal investigation makes it worse for you. I'm not lying. Then explain why my daughters only improved when they stopped taking your medicine. They didn't improve. They did. On Thursday, when I didn't give your medicine, they slept through the night. Coincidence? And here in the hospital? Without your medicine, they are improving every day. Kasia is cornered but still resists. Raphael, you are very stressed. You're not thinking clearly. That's when Dr. Martins intervenes. Doctor, we have hospital security cameras. You were seen administering something to the children last night during the shift change. Kasia's blood runs cold. Which cameras? The facility is monitored 24/7. We want to know what you administered at 3 in the morning. She tries another lie. It was saline. They were dehydrated. Saline doesn't need to be hidden from nursing staff. Why didn't you report it? Kasia has no answer. The investigator leans forward. Doctor, we'll make this easy. We know you administered amphetamines. We have proof. The only thing we want to know now is, why? Kasia looks around the room. Raphael with hatred in his eyes, Dr. Martins shaking his head, investigators waiting. She realizes it's over. She starts, voice trembling. Speak, Kasia, Raphael whispers. At least that. I did it because, tears start to fall. Because I love you, Raphael. Silence fills the room. I've loved you for years. Since your wife died. And I thought if I took care of the girls, if I was indispensable to them, you poisoned my daughters out of love? Raphael whispers, incredulous. It wasn't to hurt. It was so they would need me, so you'd see I was important. Important? You nearly killed them. The dose was small. Calculated. I'm a doctor. I knew what I was doing. And when Renata managed to calm them, what then? I had to increase it a little. She was going to ruin everything. Increase? You increased the drug dose in my daughters out of jealousy? Kasia is now sobbing. I love you so much. I've waited years for a chance. Raphael rises, trembling with rage. This is not love, Kasia. This is madness. It is love, yes. Everything I did was out of love. Love doesn't hurt, especially an innocent child. I didn't want to hurt. I just wanted you to love me. The investigator signals to his colleagues. Doctor, you are under arrest for attempted homicide and practicing medicine without a license. As Kasia is taken away, still shouting that she loves Raphael, he remains in the room, devastated. Doctor, he says to Dr. Martins, I need to get someone, an innocent person who is imprisoned for a crime she didn't commit. Go, your daughters are safe now. And for the first time in months, Raphael knows it's true. Wednesday, 10 a.m., Raphael stays at the police station until 3, dealing with paperwork and bureaucracy. Even with Kasia's confession, releasing someone from prison isn't simple. Mr. Ferraz, the chief explains, Ms. Renata will be released today, but the case against her will only be officially closed in a few weeks. And can she stay at home until then? Yes, she can. And what about compensation for moral damages? I'll handle that later. Right now, I just want to get her out. At 11:30 a.m., Renata finally leaves the cell. 5 days that felt like 5 years. She carries a plastic bag with the few belongings she had when arrested. Seeing Raphael in the hallway, she stops and stares at him. She doesn't smile, doesn't show relief, only exhaustion and deep hurt. Renata. Mr. Raphael, you're free. Kasia confessed everything. I know. The chief told me. She who was poisoning the girls. You were right from the start. Renata laughs, but there's nothing funny in it. Yes, I was right. But you believed her for months and me not even for a day. The words cut Raphael like a blade. Renata, I know I was wrong. Wrong? She shakes her head. Mr. Raphael, you destroyed my life. My own mother said I was dead to her. It was on TV that I'm a baby poisoner. I'm going to fix all of this. Oh, how do you fix 5 days of hell? How do you make my mother love me again? Raphael has no answer. Mr. Raphael, thank you for getting me out of jail, but now I just want to go home and try to piece my life back together. And the girls? Are they missing you? Renata stops at the police station door. How are they? Getting better every day without Kasia's poison, they're becoming healthy. That's good. Renata, come back to take care of them, please. I can't. What? Because I no longer trust you. And she walks away, leaving Raphael alone on the sidewalk, realizing it will be far harder to regain her trust than he imagined. First month. After a week of insisting, Renata finally agrees to return, but with strict conditions. I'll come back, she says to Raphael at her home door, but not as a housekeeper, and I won't live in the mansion as you wish. I'll take care of the girls during the day and return to my home at night, every day. Fine, I want double what I earned before. It can be triple. And you stop trying to talk to me about personal matters. We're employer and employee. That's it. In the first days, the relationship between them is cold. Renata arrives promptly at 7, takes care of the twins with all the love in the world, but treats Raphael as if he were invisible. Good morning. Good morning. Did the girls sleep well? Yes. They nursed at 5 and... Thank you. That's it. Nothing more. The twins, on the other hand, thrive with Renata back. It's as if life has returned to normal for them. They sleep better, eat better, smile more. But Renata is not well. Raphael notices she has nightmares. Sometimes she screams in her sleep on the living room sofa during the girls' nap time. Other times she freezes when she hears a police siren. Renata, are you okay? I'm fine. You don't seem to have slept. My nights are none of your business. One afternoon, a reporter appears at the mansion door. Can I speak with Renata Silva? Renata turns pale as paper. I won't speak to the press. She whispers to Raphael. Don't worry, I'll handle it. Raphael goes out and talks to the journalist. When he returns, he finds Renata shaking in the bathroom. They left. What if they find out where I live and come to my mother's house again? Raphael sees she's having an anxiety attack. Breathe slowly. No one will bother you. How can you guarantee that? Because I'll hire security for you. I don't need charity. It's not charity. It's my responsibility. I put you in this situation. It's the first time Raphael truly accepts responsibility for what happened. Second month. The routine continues, tense, but Raphael notices small changes. Renata is still cold to him, but sometimes forgets and responds naturally to a question. How was the girl? Keeps trying to drag herself on the rug. Really? Isn't she too young? Every baby has their own timing. She's curious, just like you. Renata realizes the conversation strayed from professional and returns to being cold. I'll prepare their baby food. One day, Raphael comes home and finds Renata crying in the garden while the twins sleep. Did something happen? Nothing you need to know. Renata, are you crying? Did something happen? I went to the market this morning and everyone kept staring at me. One woman told her grandson I was the woman who poisoned the baby. Raphael feels his chest tighten. I'm sorry. No use in being sorry. The damage is done. I'll give a TV interview. I'll explain everything. And you think that will help? That people will stop looking at me like I'm a monster? Raphael doesn't know what to say. Renata, let me help. You've already helped enough. That night, Raphael calls a known journalist and schedules an interview for the following week. If he caused the problem, he will try to fix it. Third month. Raphael's interview has a good impact. He tells the whole story. He takes responsibility for believing Kassia's lies and publicly apologizes to Renata. Renata Silva is an honest and hardworking woman who was victimized by a criminal doctor. I made the mistake of doubting her when I should have trusted her. I ask for forgiveness, publicly for that reason. Some newspapers run stories about the case, showing the other side of the story. Gradually, public opinion begins to shift, but at home, Renata remains distant. I saw your interview, she comments one morning. It was nice, but it still doesn't change what happened. I know, but it's a start. That same month, something important happens. Donna Marcia shows up at the mansion. I want to talk to my daughter. Raphael calls Renata, who tenses up when she sees her mother. Mom, I came to ask for forgiveness. Renata doesn't respond. I saw his interview on TV. I understand that you were telling the truth from the beginning. You didn't believe me when I needed it most. I know. And I'm very sorry. Being sorry doesn't bring back the days I spent alone in jail. Renata, please, you are my daughter, I love you. You said I was dead to you. Donna Marcia starts crying. I said foolish things, I was angry, ashamed. But you will always be my daughter. Renata also cries but still cannot forgive. I need time, Mom. How much time? I don't know, I just know it's not easy to trust anyone right now. Fourth month. Renata finally agrees to have lunch at her mother's house on a Sunday. It's the first step toward family reconciliation. How are the girls, Donna Marcia? She asks. Beautiful. Helena is already crawling and Sophia is trying. And the boss? Treats you well? He does. I have nothing to complain about. Renata, can I say something? Go ahead. I see in your eyes that you like him. Mom, there's nothing wrong with that. He's a good single man. He's your boss and you're his employee. So what? You are an honest, hardworking, caring woman. Any man would be lucky to have you. Renata stays silent. For months she hasn't thought of herself as a woman, only as the caregiver of the twins. At the mansion, Raphael is changing too. He starts noticing Renata not just as the girl's nanny but as a person, seeing how caring, dedicated, and intelligent she is. One afternoon, he finds her teaching Helena to clap. Come on, little one, clap. Helena laughs and tries to imitate, but her hands don't meet properly. She's learning fast, Raphael comments. Very smart, just like her mother, Renata responds. Renata stops playing with Helena. They're not my daughters. But you take care of them as if they were. It's my job. Just a job? Renata looks him in the eyes for the first time in months. What do you mean? I see how you look after them, how you care. How they smile when they see you. That's not just a job. Mr. Raphael, I see how they look at you. To them, you are a mother. I can't be the mother of children that aren't mine. Yes, you can. A mother is whoever cares, loves, and is present. Renata nervously fiddles with Helena's toy. Why are you telling me this? Because I want you to know that I admire you. A lot. It's the first time Raphael subtly expresses romantic interest. 5th and 6th months. Their relationship gradually warms. Conversations start about the twins and end on personal topics. Renata, can I ask something? Sure. Why are you so good with children? Renata pauses. Because I lost one. What do you mean? 2 years ago I was pregnant. I lost the baby in the 4th month. Raphael feels a tightening in his chest. I'm sorry. That's why I relate so much to your daughters. They're the age my son would be. Son. It was a boy. We were going to call him Joao. For the first time since she returned, Renata looks him directly in the eyes. That's why it hurt so much when you thought I would harm them. After losing my own child, I would never hurt someone else's. Raphael remains silent, finally understanding the true depth of the pain he caused. In June, on the twins' 6-month birthday, Raphael organizes a small party. He invites Donna Marcia, Swaley, and a few close friends. Thank you for including me, Renata says when he hands her the invitation. Of course you are part of their family. During the party, Raphael watches Renata play with Helena and Sophia. She genuinely smiles for the first time in months. He realizes he is in love. At the end of the party, when Renata leaves, he walks her to the gate. Thanks for the party. The girls loved it. Renata, you look beautiful today. Smiling. She blushes. Thank you. I haven't seen you smile like this in a long time. The girls make me happy. Only them? Renata looks at him, understanding the unspoken question. Good night, Raphael. It's the first time in 6 months she calls him by name. Yes, ma'am. 7th month. Things change definitively between them. Renata continues returning home every day, but their conversations the conversations grew longer, more intimate. Raphael, can I ask you something? Of course. Did you love your wife? Why do you want to know? Curiosity. Raphael thought before answering. I learned to love her, but it wasn't love at first sight. What do you mean? The marriage was arranged by our families, but over time I developed affection and respect. And when she died, I thought I would never feel anything for anyone again. And now I realize I was wrong. Renata's heart raced. Raphael, can I finish? She nodded slightly. I discovered it's possible to truly love. To love someone for who they are, for how they care for others, for the strength they have. I don't know where you're going with this. I want to say that I fell in love with you. Renata stayed silent for a long moment. She couldn't say anything. Why? Because I'm afraid. Afraid of what? Of believing and then finding out you're lying. I would never lie about this. You've lied about other things. Ivy Nivalit. I only misjudged and learned my lesson. Go on. What lesson? That trusting someone is betting on them even when everything seems against them. Renata felt her eyes water. Raphael, I've fallen in love with you too, but I'm very afraid. Afraid of what? Of being happy and then losing everything again. You won't lose, do you know why? Because this time I will fight for you, for us. 8th month in August. When the twins turned 8 months old, Raphael finally confessed his true feelings. They were in the garden, watching Helena and Sophia trying to stand, holding onto the coffee table. They're almost walking, Renata, he said. And talking too, Helena said, Mama, yesterday. Was it for you? No. She was looking at you. Renata smiled. Must have been a coincidence. It wasn't. She recognizes you as her mother. At that moment, Sophia babbled, Mama, looking straight at Renata. Both of them. Raphael whispered. Renata couldn't hold back her tears. Raphael, what if it goes wrong? What if it doesn't work? And what if it does? She looked into his eyes. Do you really love me? I do, more than anything. Even though I'm poor, money doesn't make anyone better or worse. You have something money can't buy. What? A good heart. And that's what matters. And your family? Your friends? What will they say? They'll say I'm the luckiest man in the world. Renata finally smiled. Is that okay? Okay? I accept to try. I accept to see if it can work between us. Raphael pulled her into a careful hug. I love you, Renata. I love you too. 1 year later, in the garden of the same mansion where it all began, Raphael and Renata married in a small, emotional ceremony. Helena and Sophia, now 1 year and 4 months old, ran across the garden in their first unsteady steps. Dona Marcia sat in the front row, proud of her daughter. Swaley had been promoted to head housekeeper with a raise. Raphael's family had accepted Renata after getting to know her better. During the ceremony, the twins made everyone laugh when they shouted, Mama, in the middle of the vows. I think they approve, the priest said, smiling. After the celebration, when the guests left, the new family gathered in the girls' room. They've grown so much, Renata whispered, watching the twins sleep peacefully. And they would continue to grow, knowing they had been loved from the very beginning by a woman who chose to be their mother. Chose. Yes, because being a mother isn't just giving birth, it's choosing to love. Renata smiled and snuggled close to her husband. Thank you. Why? For giving me the chance to be a mother and to be happy. Thank you for teaching me what true love is. Far away in a women's prison, Kasia watched the news showing the wedding. She had lost everything she wanted. Raphael, her career, her freedom. But the mansion, Helena and Sophia slept knowing they were loved. And Renata finally understood that sometimes the family we choose is stronger than the one we're born into. Love had won. And this time forever. Did you enjoy this story? Did Kasia get what she deserved, or was it too little? Tell me in the comments. See you in the next story.